It's your boy Bryant.
And I'm Justine.
And we're the Cartagenas. Energy is the canvas. It's the silence in between words. It's the space that allows everything to be. That's the power of femininity. Is that power of being.
It's time to start taking your power back. There's so much out there that makes a woman not feel worthy of being in their feminine, where they have to go out there and be in their masculine because it's not cool enough. Hey guys, welcome to our second episode with Create with the Cartagenas, where we talk about all things creation.
It's your boy Bryant.
And I'm Justine.
And we're the Cartagenas. Guys, today's episode, we're going to go deep into duality, the power of feminine and masculine energy, and how balancing those can strengthen your relationship and marriage, can strengthen your skills in parenting, and can even help you create and build business and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
It essentially allows you to create on a better platform. So you guys know me, I like to get deep into it right away. Babe, when you think about feminine energy, what comes to mind?
Feminine energy to me is the ultimate nurturer, creator. When I think about feminine energy, I think about pregnancy, bringing life into this earth. Today I'm creating my baby's feet, but I don't really have to do much to create it. I just know it's being created. I'm nurturing. I'm just being. There's so much power in just being with the feminine energy. What does feminine energy mean to you?
You, baby. No, so you hit the nail on the head. When I think of feminine energy, I think of all that is. And so, again, regardless of what you believe in, I just feel like, in essence, everything around us is created by the power of femininity. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't because of the female energies, because of the power of creation. And so I wholeheartedly believe, the way I look at it, is that feminine energy is the canvas. It's the silence in between words. It's the space that allows everything to be. That's the power of femininity, is that power of being, of just having that presence that allows you to live life and create life. It's, again, like I said, the canvas is that blueprint, so to speak. And so when I think of femininity, again, and I say that because you've allowed me to fill in and create the life of our dreams by just kind of being. And that doesn't mean that you're not doing anything. It's like you said, when those little feats are being created while you're pregnant, you're not doing anything, but at the same time, you're doing everything.
Yes.
Oof, bars.
Yes.
So now, what about masculine energy, babe? What's masculine energy to you?
Masculine energy to me is I think of a hunter. You provide that safety. You lead. You make a woman feel safe. You come up with the action and the solutions, right? Because sometimes I feel like as women, we provide the space to get maybe an idea for the solution, but then you go out and get it. You go out and do the actions to actually bring forward the solution.
I love it. So just to dive a little bit deeper into feminine, you mentioned, you might come up with the idea. And I believe that women also provide the vision. So feminine energy are visionaries, right? They're the ones who can see everything that is. And I've noticed by just working alongside Justine in business, by building a household and a partnership with her, that the intricacies of life and how she wants to live it come from her, right? And then my job, and what I believe masculinity is action. Masculine energy is what allows the creation to be.
Yes.
It's the doing behind the being. So we're human beings, but we're also human doing, right? We got to do things in life in order to experience and to create the world that we want to live in. And so it's just a beautiful balance in between the two. And I'm not saying that you can't be a female and have masculine energy. Matter of fact, it's the opposite. I feel like a strong, powerful feminine energy can step into her masculinity at any given point, but always go back to her true power, her true nature. And the same way as a male, you're a doer. I'm an action taker. I'm the person who's putting the blueprint together. I'm the guy. I'm carrying the logs, like David Goggins says, right? I'm taking the action. And so even deeper than that, obviously, you mentioned on a 3D level, Masculinity is protection, is certainty. It's that leading. Again, not that women can lead, but a man leads from a different aspect.
Yes.
We're focused on the present moment and what we can do to find solutions, to figure things out, while a woman is looking at the bigger picture.
Yes.
Right? She's looking at the micro aspect of it. She's kind of stepping back, and that's why I believe that women are all that is, because essentially the feminine energy is the overall arching kind of umbrella that nurtures those actions that allow you to kind of move in unison. I believe that when men find that comfort and that nurturing aspect, and a lot of us experience it with our mothers when we're really young, that she allows us to kind of take the actions that we need to take to be who we want to be.
Yeah.
Right? The mother gives you the space to grow. She gives you the vision of what she wants for you, and then it's up to us to go ahead and nail it down. That's why we go to school and get good grades. That's why we take care of our siblings. That's why we show up and bring the flower, because we know that our mother wants to feel loved. So our mother kind of gives us she's the first essence of that feminine energy that we experience, and a lot of us lose sight of that as men, and we don't get that anymore because it becomes a competition on who's stronger, who can lead, who can take what action, who needs to be doing what. And again, men need that comfort and that knowingness, that space, which is what you provided for me, babe, to take the actions, to lead not only yourself, but lead your family, your legacy forward.
I feel like as men grow, right, as a child, you get all that love from your mom, but as you grow, like, parents tend to get a little bit tougher on you. So then that's where your partner, when you get to a certain age, comes in to provide that loving space for you again, like that cycle that comes again. But a lot of men might not have that, and therefore they tend to go into that unhealthy cycle of masculinity or step into their feminine as well.
All right. So you brought us to a beautiful crossroad, right? Which is there's different aspects of energies. And so you can be a man, but have feminine energy about you. What does that look like?
I feel like for me, for example, I can talk about my experience. Like in my previous relationship, I was very in my masculine energy, and I feel like he was in his feminine. And what that looked like was I had to figure out all the problems. Like I had to help financially. I had to figure out how our daughter was going to get clothes on her back, or the rent, or how we were going to buy a car. Like I was the action, the go-getter. And he was more in the back, like, you know, can you help me, or can you figure this out for me? And like it kind of also made me feel like I was a mother, you know, to him, instead of like, hey, I'm the wife, and sort of in the, you know, in the relationship. Like I felt like I was the go-getter. I had to figure everything out. So I was mostly in my masculine because I was you know, like I'm ready to go hunt.
You don't have to hunt, baby. You don't have to hunt. I got you. And now I love that again, you brought it back the other way too, where you can be a female, and we've seen this a lot. And now, you know,
Yes.
in this kind of time that we're living, where there's a lot of beautiful, loving females that are in their masculine. And so a lot of women are out there and again, it's not about the money, because a woman can make money. That's awesome. But it's having to not only make the money, but figure out what to do with it, and figure out how, you know, what actions to take to get them, you know. So
at the same time of raising your kids and being that nurturer, and
it's crazy. And sometimes we and then we sacrifice the most important part of life, which is creation. Because when you're in your masculine, right, you have to put so much energy and fragment your energy outwards into kind of doing and taking action that it doesn't come natural. And so now you put at the back end raising your children, or creating your children. And we've seen that. And then what does that do? It's a cycle. Now those kids grow up without the tender love and care of a mother. And so these men grow up or women grow up, and their energies are all intertwined. And so they bring that forward to their relationships. And that's kind of a cycle that we're seeing. A lot of men growing up in femininity, a lot of women growing up in masculinity. And then when they get together, then they're raising children in that same aspect. And then it's just not providing that synchronicity that I believe the world is meant to experience.
the yin and the yang.
The yin and the yang. Hey. So now on the other side, I believe that as a man, it's up to us to lead. It's up to us to bring that to the forefront. When I met you, babe, it was just I didn't see an ounce of masculinity in you, even though it was very attractive that, you know, you were a college graduate, you had a career in accounting, you were figuring it out for your daughter and doing all these beautiful things for yourself. My initial thought with you was, wow, I can't wait to give her some babies. I can't wait to have her hug me. I can't wait to discuss my dreams and my visions with her. I can't wait to see how she feels around, you know, and that was the essence of our relationship immediately.
Yeah.
Because again, it takes, and that's not to toot my own horn, it was just, it takes another level of man to understand the power that there is in a feminine woman. I never, ever in my life had to fix my own plate.
Let's talk about that.
I don't even open the fridge in my home because I know that my wife got me. And you're my wife now, but it was always that way.
It was always that way. Since the very beginning, I have always served Brian's plate. I'm here serving Brian's plate first. Like, what do you want, baby? And then I'll serve my plate. But I was always making sure that I catered to him, that I make sure he was good first. And then everything else flows.
And again, that's not to say it wasn't coming from a mother perspective.
Yeah, not at all.
It was more like, hey, I want to make sure that I take care of my man the way that he takes care of me.
Yes.
And we take care of each other differently. And so again, there's definitely place for us to step into different roles and to fulfill different energies. Again, I believe in duality. That's the theme of the podcast.
Yeah.
And so I believe that, number one, you need duality in a masculine and a feminine. But I also believe that internally you need duality. But you need to live somewhere. You need to live at a base. And that foundation is either masculine or feminine. But however that is, you've still been capable of going out there and getting it and making a couple $100,000 in your business and killing it. And then be like, you know what, babe?
I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't want to do this anymore. You know, like, it's not serving me anymore. It's not aligned. And I'm like, babe, don't worry. I got us. You know, you can go ahead and step into your masculine real quick, be a boss, build a team, you know, sell some products, do whatever it is you got to do.
But that came from me wanting to, because I believe that it's not to shoot women down. It's not to say like, hey, you're here and you're meant to just stay home and take care of the kids. I believe that there's phases in every woman's life. So for me, when I had our children, like, what I really wanted to do in this moment of my life is cater to our kids, right? Because I feel like that's the moment that they need me the most, and I can never get that back. So that's where I really wanted to be. And for the first time ever, I was allowed the space. You allowed me the space to do that. But then there came a point, literally after we had Jane, that I wanted to make money. And it came from a place of excitement. It didn't come from a place because I had to. But then obviously we got pregnant right away with Jordan, and it was unexpected. But then it was like, okay, I'm pregnant. Like, I just want to be pregnant and really enjoy myself, and I made money for us. But then I was able to, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, it's not serving me. It's not where I want to be. I want to cater to our kids and really provide that structure in the home. And then later on, if I want to do something else, I can. But right now, you go make the money. Like, I'm fine.
And I love that for you, baby.
I love that for me too.
and it's worked both ways. So I came from a place where, backtrack a little bit, I was building a business from scratch. And that's, you guys know, that's when it takes the most effort, the most hunter in you.
Yeah.
You have to go and do everything. And so back in 2017, when we launched Familia, I was struggling because I'm here trying to build this amazing life. I wasn't with Justine. I was with a different partner. We were together for about 5 years. And I'm there trying to go get it, trying to go make it happen, trying to go build this life of this dream life of ours. And it's like, you're not spending enough time with me. You're not, you can't work that late. And it's like, as a man, it's exactly what you mentioned. As when you have kids, you want to go ahead and be there for them and nurture them and love them. When I have kids or when I have a partner, what I want to do is create the life that we want to live. I want to go ahead and take the actions to not solve the problems, because they're not necessarily problems, but step into the opportunities and make sure that I can do the best that I could to provide the type of lifestyle that we want. And so that held me back for a long time. And I felt the friction, and I had to make those decisions, and that made me step into other aspects of my energy where I wasn't too proud of. Now, fast forward to when I met Justine, again, she was still doing her thing, but she empowered me to go out and get it. She empowered me to go out and do more. I would spend weeks without seeing Justine, and it was okay. We'll find. I like, and when I say not seeing Justine, meaning like spending conscious time with her. But we were figuring out a way to, whether that was at night to get together, whether
I was helping you with your business.
Or she was. Yeah, you know what we would do? She was doing deliveries with me, so she knew that I had to go get it. So she's like, "Babe, I want to spend some time with you. Like, what do we got to do? How do I get in the car with you?" So
even if it's the right bag.
So on the right, we'll go drop off a vehicle. I'll sign out some contracts, and Justine will get back in the car with me, and that was our time together.
Yeah.
And the reason the reason that I believe, and I give all my credit in business to you, is because you allowed me to really step into my masculine and really go out there and do. And even with my kids, sometimes at the back of my head, I sometimes feel that pull of like, the kids are, I want to spend more time with my family. The kids are growing, and so you've always given me that comfort to know that you got us, that you're holding it down, that certainty that, I got our kids. I'm taking care of them. I'm nurturing them. I'm loving them in ways that maybe I can't even. Yeah. And so that allows me to go do the things that I know that I can do well, which is provide, which is protect, which is create security in our life. And so not only does a marriage benefit from that balance, but like we just said, business does too.
Yeah.
Again, Justine's been able to make money for us because of my ability to kind of let her do it on her time and on her term. I've been able to make tons of money for us because she gives me the space to be able to do that without the nagging, without the, you got to come back home and change a diaper. You got to come and be here. Like, and what does that do? That allows me then, as a man and in my masculine, allows me to step into feminine versions of myself, because I am a man's man. Yeah. But Justine allows me to be such a man that I can always go back into a little bit and tap in a little bit into my feminine and help here. And matter of fact, I help constantly because I'm so certain that I'm a man. I can go ahead and change a diaper, shower the kids every night. I can go ahead and make some breakfast, pick up the house, because it's like, that's not taking away from the manlyhood of myself. That's not taking away from what I want to really do, which is go make money, which is go figure it out for us, which is go, hey, babe, what's our vision? What's our dream? Let me go out there and get it. And so vice versa, Justine's been able to make money because she understands that she can always fall back on, hey, I'm a mother, I'm a nurturer, I'm a lover first. I'm the canvas to this family.
My foundation.
That's your foundation.
Yes. I feel like when I stepped into, the business and making money after Jane, there came a point where I got pregnant with Jordan, and I was stepping a little too far into my masculine energy. So it looked like I wasn't cooking as much, I wasn't cleaning the house. I wasn't paying attention to the kids the way that I normally would. And like, I noticed that I needed to take a step back when, my husband, and he's always very graciously, and, he'll tell me things from such a loving place, but like, hey babe, what's up? Like, you haven't made dinner this past week or whatever. I'll be like, what you mean? Like, I'm making money. like what you mean? So I can't do it all, And then I noticed that I was very like, and from that moment, it's like, okay, that's not my foundation. So from that, when I noticed I was too much in my masculine and rejecting a lot of my femininity, I wasn't producing as much. So my kids, I felt like I wasn't paying attention to them the way that I normally would, or nurturing them the way that I normally would. I wasn't nurturing my home the way that I normally would, and I wasn't making the money that I was making when I came from a place of balance, a place that, okay, I'm doing this, but my foundation is my femininity. I was stepping too much into my masculine, where it was like, okay, I need to step back. Like, we had a conversation and was like, you're much better at making the money than I am, because here I am like, and my check started going down, and it was literally a testimony. My check started going down. I felt like I was pulling teeth and I was rejecting everything else or neglecting. I was like, hey, like, I'm good. Like, you go make the money, you go hunt, you go do what you gotta do. Like, I'll step back and, I'll focus on the home and the kids, and I'm good. Like, I am good.
Go kill the food and I'll go cook it.
And I'll go cook it. Because I believe, like, men, let's say you pay the rent, you provide the living space, but I make it a home. The woman make it a home.
I buy the house, you create the home.
I create the home.
And so, yeah, I mean, and that's, again, is not taking away from a woman going out there and getting it, but there's a way safer, there's a way better way to do it, so to speak. I remember when I connected with Justine and we started building our relationship, she was in business. And she was coming from this place of masculinity, trying to build this business. And she had the craziest results. It was, again, a fitness-based industry. And she had amazing physical results. And she knew what to do, but she couldn't... Se estaba ahogando en un vaso de agua. She literally couldn't figure out a way to make it happen. And so I stepped in from a place of doing and because... movement doesn't always equal progress.
Yeah.
And so men, we really understand the nitty gritty, again, once you're in your masculine, on what actions lead to what results. We're result driven creatures.
Yeah.
It's all about a woman wants it is energy based. It's all about feelings and how she feels around something. We're about what actions we can take to get a specific measurable result.
Yeah.
And so I was able to go into the business and pinpoint here and there and move these things around. And in a matter of 6 months, we skyrocketed. Top 5% of the company.
You allowed me to do a business from a place of my feminine, which was delivered the results, because before you, I was so in my masculine because I had to figure everything out. So I had to be a mother. I had to be a provider. I had to do the business. Like, it was taking so much out of me that I was in survival mode. I was in fight or flight. Like, I didn't have nobody to come and lead and tell me, look, babe, this is how we're going to do this. Like, when you came and you told me and you wrote down the business plan on a little paper plate, I was like, wow, like, finally I have somebody to like just guide me a little, and then I felt like I could work from such a place of peace. But before you, I was trying to figure everything out that I couldn't. It was too much on my plate. So I was giving a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little, that I wasn't giving enough on any aspect of my life. So when you came in, you finally allowed me to just breathe a little. And I remember, like, I felt so in my masculine that any little thing that you would say or try to help me, and if I would feel like some type of resistance, what was my first instinct? No, I could do it myself. I don't need no help. Leave me alone. But it was because I was so used to doing everything myself. But what I really wanted was just a man to come in and say, yo, I got this. Like, I got you, baby. Let's do this together. And like, I remember when you first came, it's like I finally felt like I could breathe. Like, I felt like I was holding my breath for so long. Just do this. And when you came in, it was like, I could relax. So even doing the business, like, you provided the structure and you led the way. And it was like, okay, I could finally just do it from a place of passion, not a place of survival or this need. And I produce so much better results. I feel like every woman can produce so much better results when they have the foundation of their ultimate power, which is their feminine power.
Wow. So, and that's exactly where I was going to go with it, where as individuals, we are so fragmented, right? We're trying to do everything. And I can relate. I was in the same place where I not only had to be a provider and figure things out and create the actions in the business and make the money, but I also had to be at the forefront of our emotional conversations. I had to create the space for me and my ex-partner.
You had to figure out your meals.
Yeah, I had to figure out my meals.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Oh my, that's crazy you mentioned that. And I couldn't for a whole while. Because what does a man do when they need to figure out their own meals? Order Chinese, bro. Order Chinese, bro. We were ordering Chinese. I was ordering Chinese food. I was eating tacos at night from the truck. I was eating 1 or 2 times a day. My metabolism was slow.
Yeah.
I was 200 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
Right now, these muscles, this is all fueled by feminine power. And that all came from a place of, again, like you said, I was able to focus on what I needed to focus on.
Yeah.
I was able to bring my attention and my energy forward to the creations that I wanted to actually create. And so for women out there that are so in the shit, so to speak, that they don't understand what we're talking about. Where they're just like, hey, I got to make the money. I got to figure this out. I got to go.
They don't have a choice.
They don't have a choice. What do you have to say to those women?
Well, first, if a woman is so on that fight or flight mode that they feel like they don't have a choice, that they got to go out there, they got to get it. First is to start asking yourself those questions of your surroundings, of the type of relationship that you have. Really ask yourself the questions of the partner that you have, because I feel like essentially it's our foundation to be in a healthy feminine place, and for a man, our partner, to be in a healthy masculine place. And if they're not, it's something within them that they have to start fixing, or maybe it's just not the partner for us. So start asking yourself those questions so that you can start finding the answers within, so that changes can start arising. For me, I was very in my masculine because my partner was very in his feminine, and I felt like I felt like I didn't have a choice. Like I needed to go out there and get it because I wasn't gonna rely on him to get it, because obviously I was also helping him. So I didn't expect him to help me, and I didn't even have a place where I couldn't even rely on my parents. Also, like when I got pregnant at 19, it was like, you're on your own. So I was very in a survival mode. But when I started slowing things down and I started working on myself within, then everything around me started changing, including my relationship, where then I finally found a man that was so in a healthy masculine place that he allowed me to finally breathe and be in that healthy feminine foundation. But first, like our first episode, I started asking myself the questions within and I started changing things within. And then my outer exterior started changing, including the man that provided me that space for me to be in a healthy feminine place.
So I love that, because first of all, the work is internal. Yes. So you can't change, like, no, you got to be more of a masculine man, so I could be more of a female.
I tried that. It didn't work 8 years. It didn't work.
And so you have to start doing the work, number one, internally. And it has nothing to do at that point with your partner, with feminine or masculine. Yeah. It really at that point becomes about you finding your duality within.
Yes.
And so where do you need to place your love? Where do you need to place your being? Where do you need to place that canvas, that loving feminine energy? And so then you can go ahead and still tap into some of that masculinity, so that you can go ahead and make your money, still figure things out. Mm-hmm. But you have to be able to take the actions with that masculinity to get up and go, to get up and change your relationship, to go and take the actions necessary to really start creating life the way that you, and then more importantly, once you do find that relationship, because a lot of us have, a lot of women have good men, but as men, we're also broken. Mm-hmm. We also got maybe babied a little bit too much by our mother. We might have had very toxic previous relationships where we had to step into our feminine a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. And so
gradually, but we can have a woman that is so in her masculine that pushes a man to be feminine or stay in his feminine, like doesn't allow the space for a man to have that confidence to step in his masculine, because like you just shove him back over there.
So when I met Justine, again, as a woman, and this is me speaking to the woman out there, yes, I'm a man's man, but I didn't always show up that way. It was hidden somewhere deep within because of, again, that relationship and what it was demanding from me. And so what Justine did that brought that out was creating the space for me to really be myself and really step into myself. And again, once a man knows that a woman got him, we'll move mountains.
Once you don't have to worry about that.
That's what I told Justine. I'm like, why has my life skyrocketed since I met you? It's because I was able to kind of bring back my entire energy regarding love and relationship and worthiness, to the point where I kind of blocked that off already. I know I have my life partner. I know she's there for me. I know that I'm going to eat every single day, no matter what. I know that somebody's going to love me and take care of me no matter what goes on. Yeah. Because, at the end of the day in business, if you're not producing, your partners are looking at you left and right. And your job and your career and other areas of your life, people are going to be judging you by your results. Yeah. And so what the feminine energy does to a man is allows you to be just the way that they are. And it's like, hey, babe, just by your presence, I love you. Yeah. And when that happens, it allows the man to say, hey, because you love me, I'm going to go out and create whatever it is that you desire. And so again, for a female, and at this point for a man as well, you need to be vulnerable with each other and really understand that somebody's got to go first. And somebody has to go. And for me, Justine just opened up so freely, and she really created a space, the divinity for me to really step into and really start growing into. And to this day, I attribute all of my successes, all of my growth, literally my most precious creations, our beautiful children, to you and your feminine essence and your feminine power. So,
aw, baby, so
I love you so much.
I love you.
That being said, babe, what's one actionable step or one message that you want to give out to our conscious creators out there in regards to duality, feminine and masculine energy, and how to balance it appropriately, not only for their relationship, but for business, for parenting, or for their entire creation of their life?
I feel like there's so much power in the yin and yang, you know, the masculine and feminine. Even, you know, the church, they emphasize like the covenant, and I get it because once you come from a healthy feminine place and a healthy masculine place and you bring that together, it's the ultimate creating power. Like there's so much space to do literally whatever you desire once you have that healthy balance. And I feel like for all the females out there that come from a broken femininity and are so much in their masculine, it's time like to start taking your power back. Like there's so much out there that makes a woman not feel worthy of being in their feminine, where they have to go out there and be in their masculine because it's not cool enough. You know, there's messages out there like you got to go out and get it. Like you got to pay 50-50. You got to do this. You got to do that. Like if not, you know, you're whack or whatever it is. And it brings a female down and makes it seem like us creating and nurturing, which is our God-given gift, which is our foundation, is not powerful enough. And it is everything, because we are literally creators. Without us, humans don't come into this world. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your mom. And if it wasn't for your mom being so nurturing and spending that time with you, you wouldn't attribute half of the qualities that you have today. So imagine if women were provided that peace to really nurture and fulfill their role, how many precious children grow up into amazing humans that continue to help the world evolve.
Wow. Thank you, Mama Nancy.
Thank you, Mama Nancy.
Guys, for me, I always keep it simple at the end. 1 + 1 = 3. And I'm serious. 1 + 1 = 3. You don't understand the power of duality until you experience it. And so when two energies balance each other and combine, creation is unlimited. The human potential is unlimited. Literally. We can literally create whatever life we desire if you're conscious enough, and more importantly, if you have the right partner. Yes. The right I'm a firm believer that the greatest people in the world have the opposite energy balancing them out. You cannot do it alone. Yes, business partners can help. Yes, good friends are there for you. Yes, your mother. Yes, your father. Yes, your children. But unless you have that ultimate relationship, that yin and yang, where you can completely interconnect and be part of that sacred covenant, you won't be able to create to that unlimited potential. It's more than what's in front of you. You'll be able to do so much more than you want. You'll be able to do so much more than they want when you guys work in cohesive synchronicity. Yes. And that's, I think, the essence of the world. I think that's what God is essentially feminine and masculine energy in its full form. Yes. And so again, 1 + 1, guys, = 3. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Can't wait to see you guys in the next episode. I hope that this helped you guys. Again, just tune in with yourself. You're the base of your energy, and you guys could go out there and really find that love and that connection with an individual to create life on your terms.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next episode.
See you.